Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And it's our second day discussing communication in the workplace. Now, remember last time in our TOEIC unit, we talked about Angela giving a presentation about communication in the workplace. And to summarize, she talked about focusing on performance and not personalities, and to communicate ahead of time to avoid problems later on, and also be discreet so that your subordinates won't feel on the spot, they won't feel embarrassed. And also she ended with some advice saying, praise in public and criticize in private.
Those are all really good pieces of advice, you could say, for just getting along in the workplace. But like I said in our previous program, I really think having good communication skills goes beyond the workplace. It's just good for your whole life. So
absolutely.
The better you can learn to communicate, the happier I think your life's going to be. Right now, though, guys, we're going to read through our article, and then we'll be back to look at some of these terms.
Having the right workplace skills will not only get you hired for a job, but could also get you a promotion. These skills fall into two main categories: hard skills and soft skills. However, what does this mean, and is one skill set more useful than the other? Hard skills are, generally speaking, your qualifications and professional capabilities. They are the things that make up the bulk of your resume. Two examples of hard skills are a college diploma and proficiency in certain software. These skills are also measurable. You either possess them or you don't. Soft skills, on the other hand, are much harder to quantify. They include things like team building, conflict resolution, and body language analysis. These skills are not normally taught through traditional education. Instead, they are acquired through experience and influenced to a certain extent by our own personalities. By and large, as careers develop, hard skills matter less and less as they can be delegated to others. However, your soft skills, such as your ability to interact with others and manage whole teams of people, become more relevant and can even determine your chance of achieving success. Therefore, it's important to develop your soft skills. You can do this by attending training programs that focus on communication and related topics. By doing so, you're giving yourself a great opportunity to become successful no matter what career you choose.
Okay, we're going to take a look at what soft skills are and how important they are in our lives, especially in our work lives. Let's take a look at the first sentence here. Having the right workplace skills will not only get you hired for a job, but could also get you that all-important promotion.
Promotion, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what's kind of upsetting to me lately is I'm hearing about people who are getting promotions who are not getting an increase in their salary at the same time.
Yeah, what's that all about?
I don't know. They want you to do more work, but they won't pay you more. Let's take a look at this promotion, though. Promotion is when you are given a higher level ranking or a higher level position. Say you start out as a I'm gonna use the broadcasting world. You start out as a reporter,
okay,
and then you get a promotion and you're actually an anchor, which is that person who sits and reads the news at a desk. That's what your goal is usually, being an anchor.
That sounds
good. So promotion. Have you had a promotion, Tom?
Not that I know of. I used to work in a gas station, and I was I guess, a gas station attendant there. Yeah. And, well, I did everything, and there was really no opportunity for promotion at a gas station. You either did the job or you didn't. But in some larger companies, of course, there are opportunities for promotion. You can start off in data entry or something and then move up to management or things like that. So, yes, indeed, you might get a promotion as long long as you have the right workplace skills. Okay, well, these skills, these special talents that you have, fall into two main categories. Fall into, we could also say, they can be divided into two main categories. A category is just a list of something that are similar, of things that are similar, a category.
Yeah.
And so we've got hard skills and soft skills, which is kind of interesting. Of course, we use those terms to talk about computers sometimes.
Right.
Your hard drive and your software, for example. But we're talking about hard skills and soft skills, but these don't really have anything to do with a computer. So we're asking the question, however, what does this mean? Or what do these two terms mean? And is one set of skills, one skill set, more useful than the other? Yeah, I'd like to know too.
I think it depends what your job is. I think for most people, as they first start out in the workplace, those hard skills are more important. The knowledge that you gain in college, and the things you studied there. But the soft skills, for me, just include how to get along with people, how to communicate. And that is really important the higher you go up the corporate ladder, you could say. Because if you're a manager, you really have to know how to get along with people, how to read people, tell from their expressions how they're feeling, because sometimes people won't directly say what their opinion is, but you have to learn how to read people. So those soft skills get to be more and more important the longer you're in the workplace.
Right, so hard skills are, generally speaking, those qualifications. Of course, your college background, your experience and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And your capabilities, which means how you're able to do something. I can work on a computer. I know that software program.
Yeah.
I can type 100 words a minute and stuff like that. Those are your skills or your capabilities. And they are the things that make up the bulk of your resume. The bulk of just means the major part, the most part, the largest part of your resume, which of course is the document you present to someone who is interviewing you for a job. This is my resume. Your name, where you went to school, your job experience, extracurricular activities in school, stuff like that are listed on your resume.
Another term you'll often hear is the CV, which stands for curriculum vitae, and that's used more by people who are in the educational side of the world. Curriculum vitae will often list papers that they've had published. So I know, for example, my friend who's a professor, she doesn't use a resume. She uses a curriculum vitae, which lists all the magazines she's had articles published in. But most of us, especially as you first start out working, you have a resume. And as Tom said, there are things that you'll actually put on the resume, but you're not going to list soft skills on your resume. You're going to list your hard skills on your resume. Two examples of hard skills are your college diploma. The diploma is actually a piece of paper that has your name, the school you graduated from, and then a seal or a stamp by the president of your university. And you're also going to list some proficiencies that you might have. If you have a proficiency in something, it means you have some skills. You've worked on it for a while. Maybe you've studied something for a while and you're pretty good. You can list your proficiencies in language on your resume as an example. You guys are all proficient in Mandarin. Some of you have really good Taiwanese. And you can also list that you're proficient in English. Those are hard skills I'm talking about right now.
Or Japanese, Korean and stuff. And also maybe you know how to use certain software programs that other people don't. I'm a master at using Photoshop, for example.
Okay.
Or of using PowerPoint or various other kinds of software programs. So those skills are measurable. You either possess them or you don't. Yes, if you've got the diploma, there it is. Your college degree. Is it a bachelor's degree? A graduate degree, a PhD, etc. You can show those things with documents. They are measurable, which means you can measure them. They're very clear. You can see them. You either have them, you either possess them, or you don't. And yes, they'll find out soon if you try to fake your diploma, as I've heard some people try to do. But they'll probably discover pretty quickly that you really don't know your skills if you try to fake your diploma.
Yeah, in some positions, you might have an interview and then they might go and have you take a test. See how fast you type or if you really know the software like you said you did. So always be honest, and if you don't have the skills you need, then get them. There was an actor being interviewed the other day I was watching, and he said, they asked him if he could ride a horse because you needed to ride a horse for this show. And he said, yes. He lied. And he said, then I went out and learned to ride a horse very quickly.
Okay. So I guess in some situations,
if you have a chance that you can pick up a skill quickly, then do it. But for the most part, we both recommend you be as honest as possible on your resume. So if it's measurable, you can actually say whether you're a beginner, intermediate, advanced, that sort of measuring. And if you possess something, you have it. So let's look at the second paragraph here. Soft skills, on the other hand, are much harder to quantify. If you see that word quantify, it means you're going to use numbers. So when you see that, just know, I need to use numbers if we're going to quantify. Qualify just means you list different qualities of something, but you don't list numbers. So you'll often hear the difference. Is quantifiable? It's qualifiable. It's quantifiable. They're different.
Yeah, you could say quantify means the same thing as count or measure. It's harder to measure these skills. It's harder to determine what they are. And these soft skills include things like team building, conflict resolution, and body language analysis, which are things that are part of soft skills. Team building. Can you organize people together and have them work together and have them listen to you and do what you tell them, or at least more or less agree with your general strategy and things like that? And also, if you have conflicts between people, personality conflicts, can you step into them and say, hey, Joe, Lisa, quit fighting. I'm going to come over here and resolve your conflict so that you will be the best of friends in no time. And also, you need to be able to do body language analysis. Analysis is when you analyze something. You take a look at all the elements in the structure of something, and then you try to make some conclusions about that. Body language analysis means to be able to read people's body language, okay? Like, can you tell if somebody's talking in a certain way? If they blink their eye, does that mean they're lying or something? Or if they look away from you, they don't make eye contact, does that mean they're not being very truthful? Stuff like that. Or, is their voice confident so they know what they're talking about? That's all part of body language analysis, and it's part of soft skills.
Yeah, those are all really important. Reading people is very important. So brush up on that, your body language analysis. These skills are not normally taught through traditional education. You're typically not going to see a high school or college course that's called body language analysis, You just have to do it living life, picking it up. It's kind of common sense and street knowledge, I'd say. Street knowledge is stuff you pick up on the street, just living life. Instead, they are acquired or obtained or gained through experience and influence to a certain extent by our own personalities. So how good you are at some of these things actually has to do or is very much related to your own personality, which is very interesting. Some people are just really good at getting along with folks and reading people, and they're just people. I call those people persons. They're really good with people to a certain extent. Extent here can be different things. It could be an area that's covered by something. It could be the degree to which something has gone or spread. It could be the size or scale of something. Here we're talking about probably the size or scale. So it's determined or influenced to a certain degree. You could also say to a certain degree by our own personalities.
All right, to a certain extent, which means quite a bit, actually. Not a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough to be considerable.
In an amount, yeah.
Yeah, so I could ask somebody, do you speak Japanese? Well, yeah, to a certain extent. I'm not totally fluent, but I can still get by if I want to travel and stuff like that. So in any case, yes, it's influenced to a certain extent by our own personalities. And we were talking about personalities before. I don't need to spend more time on that. And moving on to the the next paragraph here, it says, by and large, you could also say, generally speaking, for the most part, as careers develop, hard skills matter less and less as they can be delegated to others. To delegate means that you simply pass something out to someone else to do. If you're the manager, you can just delegate responsibilities to other people. Why should you worry about that and spend 18 hours in the office every day? You can delegate those responsibilities to others so that you can go home and sleep well at night. Let other people have some responsibilities.
And if you've delegated something to someone else, it means you're giving them the responsibility as well.
Yeah.
You're not just saying, oh, get this done, but I'm still responsible. You're actually giving them the responsibility to make sure it's done correctly. So, however, it says your soft skills, such as your ability to interact with others and manage whole teams of people, become more relevant or important or connected and can even determine your chance of achieving success. If you're not good managing other people, you're probably not going to be promoted very high. There are some jobs and some careers where you're going to work alone. Which wouldn't require having those soft skills that managers have to acquire. If you don't have those soft skills, you're not going to be a manager. Boy, that's the truth. Although, I have to say, I worked with someone here in Taiwan who was a partner at a very big international company, and she was a horrible manager.
Uh-oh.
She was terrible with people, but
no.
She had been promoted. Somebody had made the mistake of promoting her, but I only think people who get along with people should be managers. That's my own opinion.
Yeah, I hate that political stuff.
Yeah.
She probably got the job because she knew somebody
Perhaps,
or she was related to somebody. It should be based on skill rather than your connections. But of course, in the modern world, we know that connections pretty much mean more than they really should. But in any case here, those different kinds of skills do attribute to our success, and they help determine our chance of achieving or reaching that success. Now, therefore, it's important to develop your soft skills. As you said, that person you know is a terrible manager. She's probably made lots of people unhappy, and she's probably directly responsible for the high turnover rate.
Do you know what's interesting, though, Tom?
Yes.
Is that she has a terrific secretary who is one of the nicest people I've ever met. And that secretary is able to kind of soften the edges of her boss. You know, when her boss says something that's really sharp and kind of rude, she steps in and says something nice. So she's lucky to have her, let me tell you.
Oh, that sounds like a pretty wonderful person there, that secretary.
She's great.
Wonderful. So in any case here, yes, indeed, that's an example of soft skills, being able to smooth out a situation. That could be an example of that. And you can do this by attending training programs that focus on communication and related topics, or seminars. You might attend seminars or lectures and things like that that talk about communication skills and interpersonal communication and stuff like that. It could help you with your management career.
It really could. So by doing so, you're giving yourself a great opportunity to become successful no matter what career you choose. I can't overemphasize the importance of soft skills. I think they're critical. We've all heard of IQs. Well, about, I would say 25 years ago, there was a man who came out with this idea of EQ, your emotional quotient. IQ stands for intelligence quotient, but your emotional quotient is even more important than how high your IQ is. So work on that, guys. That's our last piece of advice.
I remember when that came out. That took Taiwan by storm.
Daniel Goleman. Yeah,
you heard
that's
about
the
that in the news and on talk shows and variety programs. They were all talking about your EQ.
Yeah.
So I think that's still pretty important today.
It is. Right now, guys, we're going to turn the time over to our Chinese teacher.
Hi everyone, my name is Jenny. 今天我们继续来看多益的文章。好，今天的主题还是不脱离之前谈到职场工作沟通技巧的重要。为什么呢？好，看到这里提到了 soft skills 软技能。其实这个软技能到底是什么？我们往下读就知道，原来在职场工作不是只有你基本的文凭或是精通某一种软体重要而已，因为 soft skill 更重要。好，这也就是我们的主题句里面他带到了，他说其实正确的 职场技巧会让你被雇用，让你获得升迁。好，这句话里面牵涉到一个重要的句构 Not only but also 这个句型其实常见，那一样的，这是一个连接词片语，前后必须要注意到句构上的平行。好 Not only 后面如果接动词，那么 but also 后面一定也是接动词，这句话里面就是这样的情况， get you hired 让你被雇用，还有后面的 get you a promotion 让你获得升迁。好，注意到咯。好，接下来下面呢就谈到其实这个职场技巧当然有两大类，一种叫 hard skills，另外一个就是 soft skills。 那我们来看看这两个到底谁比谁有用，是 hard skills 比较有用还是 soft skills 比较有用。好，我们接下来就开始他的论点。第一个 hard skills， 我们先来谈谈什么叫 hard skills。 他说了，这个指的就是你的资格跟你的专业能力。好，那这边他提到 They are the things that make up the bulk of your resume。 我们知道 resume 是你的履历表，这个履历表里面这个大部分的项目可能就是跟你的专业有关，所以用到了 make up。 make up 是组成， bulk 本来就是一个量，所以是一个大块的 bulk。 因此我们讲到你的履历表面其实大部分可能都跟你的专业项目有关，那这也就是指你的文凭啦，或者是你可能对某一种软体特别擅长。那下面就说到 These skills are also measurable。 measurable 换句话说是可以算得出来，可以量得出来的。好，这是 hard skills。 那下面讲到 You either possess them or you don't。 either or。 好，我们注意到了，像在上一篇我们前面这个主题提的时候也一样很强调所谓的对等连接词。今天呢我们刚刚看到了 not only but also， 现在又看到 either A or B， 其实这都是对等的连接词。好，下面谈完了 hard skills， 接下来我们看 soft skills。 那 soft skills 说它是软技能，到底指什么呢？其实它跟硬技能最大的不同，当然就是它不像 hard skills 一样可以去算得出来，它不能算，比较难算。那它到底是哪些呢？下面就说到了 team building， 建立团队， conflict resolution， 解决冲突，还有 body language analysis， 分析肢体语言。好，这种东西是难以量化，而是靠经验传承的。这也就是他下面他所讲的 They are acquired through experience and influence to a certain extent by our own personalities。 换句话说，跟你个性有关。好，这边有一个片语 to a certain extent，到某一个程度上，我们常常讲 to some degree， to some extent， 这其实都是类似的片语。好，接下来我们谈完了 hard skills， 谈完了 soft skills， 那到底什么重要呢？其实下面就告诉你，基本上如果谈 hard skills， 它其实不一定是要你自己会，你可以让别人做，所以它用到了这个片语，这个动词 delegate 加 to， delegate to somebody。 delegate 当动词就是委派，交给谁去办。所以说你讲硬技能 hard skills， 如果你自己不会，那这些是可以被委托派给别人去处理的。好，那换句话说，真正重要的可能是 soft skills。 好，最后这一段，因此我们就要下结论了。结论就是，当然要发展你的 soft skills， 这点非常的重要。那要怎么办呢？不妨上一下这个主题有关的训练课程来发展你的 soft skills。 最后他就告诉你，这个结论是说 By doing so, you are giving yourself a great opportunity to become successful no matter what career you choose. No matter what career you choose. 好，这个条件句就是 不管你选了什么样的工作，其实你都会给自己一个成功的好机会。我们今天的讲解就到这边结束，我们下次见。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's continue with our lesson. We've got some discussion questions. Let me ask you this question here, Stephanie. What other soft skills can you think of, and why might they be useful?
I think one soft skill would be being really good at creating an environment where everybody feels comfortable and there's kind of a warm feeling. Not everybody's good at creating that kind of environment where you bring other people in. Some people are really good at noticing when somebody's being left out, perhaps of, a conversation and feeling kind of like they're a loner. Some people are really good about going over, bringing that person in, making friends, and once that person brings them in, then other people start befriending that person. That's a wonderful skill to have.
Yeah, I think it's trying to create a team atmosphere. We're all in this together. Let's not think of ourselves as individuals, being selfish. I guess you could say that our own selfish needs can be best achieved through cooperation and not competition. So let's cooperate. Let's work together as a team. And, of course, if we have a manager who can create that atmosphere, all the better.
Okay, here's the second question, and Tom's going to get this one.
Oh, boy.
If you had a conflict with a classmate or coworker like me, how would you resolve it?
Okay, well, I'm 190 centimeters tall, and I do push-ups and lift weights every day. So if I had a conflict with a classmate or coworker, I would punch their lights out. I would break their jaw. I would threaten their families.
You would just beat me up?
Yeah, I would probably sabotage their car, so when they get in the car and they try to start the car, it would blow up. That's what I would do. That's how I would resolve
You would
conflict.
be in jail after that,
Well, that's
Tom.
the problem there. So I guess I'd have to change my tactic there.
I think so.
Indeed. So if I had a conflict, of course, we would try to communicate.
Try to talk.
I remember in the past I did have a conflict with someone in the office, and I realized it was probably a misunderstanding. Okay, she was mad at me for the wrong reason, so I just said, okay, I'm going right over to her cubicle, and I'm going to confront her with this. And we talked about it, and we resolved the conflict. It doesn't always work, sometimes communication just makes things worse, but in that particular case, it actually was beneficial.
I think if you're open to trying to resolve the situation, it will work. But if you're still angry, just speaking more angry words is not going to help, right? So you have to really have the desire to fix the situation. And actually, both sides have to want to fix the situation. If only one side or one party, as we often say, one party, wants to resolve it and the other person's still angry, it's not going to work. So,
yeah, it takes two to tango,
yes,
as we say in English. So, yes, indeed, everybody's got to want the same result. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
That's
okay,
right.
Well, we wish you the best of success in acquiring your soft skills, and they will become useful in your future career. And believe us, if you have good soft skills, you will make a ton of money. Well, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. We certainly hope you learned something, both in terms of your English language ability and some useful job skills for the future. From all of us here at English Digest, I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
Goodbye.
Bye.